All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video on what Zelensky said to Donald Trump, man, to DJT, right? And he pretty much told him, like, when the beginning of the war took place, meaning the war between Ukraine and Russia, that everyone felt it, right? Even you, but you've got and he was pretty much like, you've got kind of comfortable now because you've got a big ocean, right? Meaning that you've got a big ocean between you and them, so you kind of feel like, well, we don't have to worry about it as much as you do because you share a border with them. We've got a whole ocean that separates us from them. But then the president of Ukraine pretty much said to them, but you're going to feel it soon. To which Trump instantly was like, you don't know that. You don't know that. Right? You don't know that. You don't have the cards right now to tell us what we're going to feel. You don't have the ability to tell us what we're going to feel right now. Pretty much like whether we're going to feel something. And he said some pretty much along the lines of we're going to feel very good. We're going to feel very strong. And that's the pride of Esau. That's the pride of America, because that's not what's actually going to take place. It actually is going to go exactly as Zelensky, well, not word for word as Zelensky said, but they are going to feel it in the future. They are going to feel it, man. Now, let me get this. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, because among all these different Edomites, whether they want to admit it or not, among all these different Edomites, right, America is the country that matters the most out of all of their countries. It's not England that matters the most. It's America. That's the place that they all look to, and that's why when the whole who was going to be the president thing was going around, it was almost like they was promoting a boxing match. It was a huge deal, man. Around like the November, people stayed awake to try and see who was gonna win. People was falling in and out of sleep. Even I was really interested to see who they was gonna use to try and pick who was going to be the president, to see what they was going to try, how they was going to try and play it. Man, I found it very interesting. It was a very interesting time, man. Seeing all the females bugging out about Kamala Harris winning. I mean, Kamala Harris losing, excuse me, which we ain't forgot that you women did that, by the way. We ain't forgot how you women was talking about how we should just get unalived because of him winning, by the way. You know what I mean? But then a lot of you women don't understand how safe you had it from her not winning, because a lot of these Edomites would have really went on a rampage, in my opinion. 19. And Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, because it's gonna get turned into a pile of ashes, man. But it's gonna be worse because it's gonna be worse because it's an even larger landmass, man. It's gonna be completely destroyed with fire. And Zelensky, he said that, but he's just an Edomite himself anyway. But they are going to feel it, man. And as soon as he said that, it was like almost like DJT got a bit shook, man. It was like, you don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that. Because there's going to come a time, man, when they start to hear rumors of how great Russia is in war, and they're going to get shook. They're going to start hearing rumors about how strong Russia actually is in battle, and they're going to be terrified, man. They're going to start hearing about how all these nations are coming up against them, and they're going to become terrified of it, man. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 43, the king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs of a woman in travail, because they're going to get scared. The day is going to come where some of these stories that they're going to be told of how their enemies and their allies are teaming up with each other are going to take away the pride of this man. Because right now he's prideful. He thinks he's got it going on. But soon he's going to find out that actually, no, he doesn't have it, man. He's going to be humbled in a great way. He's going to be humbled in a great major way, man. Verse 45. Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he have purposed against the land of the Chaldeans, which is again talking about America, Babylon the Great. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, which is talking about the small hats, man, because they're the smallest population, like they're the smallest tribe among Esau, man. Even though they're the most like influential, and they pretty much run all the other tribes. As far as population goes, they're the smallest, right? And according to even their own accounts, there's like only 11 million of them. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Because they're going to realize, man, our land's through, the land that we're claiming is our land's through. So we may as well jump it off and get it rocking so that everyone else can have to get in the mix too. That's what they're going to do, man. They're going to be like, man, we ain't going to have all the fun. We don't want to have all the fun. No, everyone can get in the mix too. If I'm going down, I'm bringing everyone with me, so they'll do something stupid, whatever it's going to be, to force everyone to have to deal with their pacts that they've made with each other, man. They're going to do something outrageous that causes for all the people to be like, okay, we all have to get it on now then. We're all going to have to do this. Because whatever they're going to do in that day is going to make the other enemies be like, nah, this time we ain't backing it down and talking about no ceasefires. We ain't ceasefiring on nothing this time. This time we're going to take it there. That's what's going to happen, man. And it's not going to be because these nations themselves want it to happen. It's because Yahweh's doing it. And that's what these proud people don't understand. Yahweh's going to make them do it, man. It's not of their own control. Cyrus didn't help the Israelites because he was such a great man. He helped the Israelites because Yahweh made him help us. It's not because he just so desperately wanted us to be taken out of and brought back to our own land. It's because Yahweh did it, man. Pharaoh didn't let the Israelites go because he realized the error of his ways. He let us go because Yahweh made him let us go. Joel chapter 3 and verse 2. I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So Yahweh's going to bring all these nations in some way. He's going to make them go to the Middle Eastern region. They're going to be either inside of the land of Israel or around there in some way. And they're all going to be a part of World War III, which is something that DJT said to the president of Ukraine. He said, you're gambling with World War III. But he ain't got he's not high enough in rank on earth to gamble with World War III, because it's Yahweh that's going to make this happen. It's not because no one on earth wants it to happen. Yahweh wants it to happen. So even if all you nations said, nah, we refuse, Yahweh's going to harden one of your hearts and make it happen. And some people are saying this whole thing's fake. Some people that would let that happen, that whole argument. Some people are saying it's fake. Some people are saying it's real. Ultimately, it happened and with our eyes seen it anyway, right? And it's gonna, as far as the optics go, it's still a bad look on America, because it still made them look stupid. And it's still gonna make the other nations be like, yeah, you know what? Some of the things that he said are right. And they're gonna be thinking, man, we're allies to them. So the same way how they're doing them, what if Russia started doing us over and started showing that they're more mighty than us in on the battlefield, which they are? How would they do us then? Would they start asking for some of our rare minerals? And if we don't give them, say, we ain't got the cards, how are they going to do us? How would they do us if we found ourselves in the same position, the same predicament that Ukraine have found themselves in? Are they going to treat us the same way? Are they going to say we ain't got the cards to try and tell them anything? And they're going to start demanding money from us now and trying to set us up with dodgy contracts? That's what people are going to start to think, man. And there was a video with Gonzalo Lira, who's not alive anymore, by the way. But I remember when I saw that argument happen between DJT and the president of Ukraine, right? The first thing I thought about in my mind was, man, I remember that there was a video going back like 2-3 years ago where that guy Gonzalo Lira, who spoke about a lot of political things, he said in a video that he thought that America was going to try to unalive in some way Zelensky. That guy, man, the president, man. He said that he thought in some way that they might try and do that. And now you're seeing how they would almost seem like, yeah, they could try something crazy like that, man. You know what I mean? He pretty much shows a reason why they almost would want to do that now. But either way it goes, it's Yahweh's plan anyway. These nations are not doing things the way they want to do it. It's Yahweh's will. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 20. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east to Lebanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things they have done to them. Like if they had done this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. So had you nations not did anything to us, you wouldn't be going through this, but you're gonna go through it, man. And this ain't no like everyone likes to copy Esau's lines or victim mindset. I find it funny how all you Jakes, you think you're so unique, and your views and your values and the words that come out your mouth are so of just your own thoughts, and no man can't tell you nothing, and you don't hear nothing from no book. But most of the talking points that you use and the things that you use to come up against what we say as Israelites, you heard it from Esau. All that you're playing a victim mindset. Edomites have been saying it for ages. But then they don't think that they're playing the mindset when they're crying about two-tier policing. They don't think that they're playing a victim mindset when they're screaming about how America's not the same anymore, and crying about how the UK is not the same anymore, and how their country's not their country, don't feel like their country no more. It's Londonistan and all that. You know what I mean? Birminghamistan and all this stuff that they be trying to say. It's asking, oh, is this London or is it Africa? I could have swore this was London and not Africa, and all that. All this usual suspect stuff. But then when it's an Edomite committing a crime, then all of a sudden them same usual suspects people forget that they were subscribed to that channel and don't want to comment, but they comment on every single video when it's an Israelite doing a crime. Just hypocrites. You know what I mean? But if they hadn't did nothing to us, well then this stuff wouldn't be happening to them. But they all have did things to us. They all played a part in our destruction, and now they're starting to realize what the end result of that was. That ultimately, now after the chosen got taken down, Esau was just going to gradually start taking everyone else down, and they even was going to take each other down too. And I know some people are saying that thing's fake, but some part of Ukraine would be like, man, they're trying to give us one of them brown people deals where that's how we normally deal with people. We give them a little here and a there, and then we take their raw minerals. And I don't want to get treated like one of them N words, so I'm going to rebel. You know what I mean? Like that's what I saw when I saw that anyway. But whether it's real or fake anyway, the optics that every other country is going to see would still be the same, man. All the allies would still be the same thing. They'd still would have all saw that, man. Even if it's a thing that they try to all stage among themselves, jokes can be turned into things where people are like, you know what? Nah, some of that stuff was real that they were saying, and can make them all decide, man, we're going to go up against them. And because Esau is going to be betrayed by his allies, that's prophecy. That's prophecy, man. Who knows what could end up happening from the results of that? If it was to be real, could Ukraine and Russia decide, you know what, louder beef, let's just side up with each other, and then they decide, you know what, nah, we gotta stop this from happening. And many things can take place, man. And it's ultimately Yahweh's will. We know the end result, man. All these nations are gonna in some way, shape, or form side up against America and realize America's the problem. That's all we know. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that are at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. And they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. And loads of countries have ate America's bread, man. America does actually give all these other countries money and fund them and give them weapons. They do. They actually do that. They're not lying when they say this. They actually have done that, man. But that's still not going to mean that these other countries are not going to betray them and say, you know what, okay, thanks for all of that, but you know what, you're still the problem. Because had it been that you don't like war this much, we wouldn't have a need for you to give us all these weapons. Because most of these wars, the way we see it, you started them, and we've been fighting battles that you want. We've been fighting. Excuse me. We've been fighting battles that you've wanted us to fight. Because when we're doing business with these countries that you've telling us to put sanctions on and tariffs, it actually seems it's actually kind of smooth how things are running between us. It's actually all right. Minus America influence, it's actually kind of, our country actually seems to be flourishing more. So I can't understand what their problem is. But I think, in fact, you know what? You're the problem. And that's what it's going to go to. You're the problem. It's going to show that America's the problem. And when you're seeing on these comment boards, a lot of the patriotic American Babylonians and that, they don't care about what happened with that whole Zelensky and DJT thing. They don't care. They're like, yeah, get him. They're pretty much like, yeah, get him. Yeah, it was good what he did. Because they've all got this. He is like an emblem of their pride, man. He's their guy. He in their mind, he's their savior, man. You know what I mean? He's like he's like their JESUS, man. The way how they treat this guy. Although some of them are starting to doubt, to regret voting for the guy anyway. What else scriptures can I get, man? So look here. So when it comes to this whole Esau thing, man, he's fours written, man. He's fours written. As Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 15. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. And whether that thing was fake or not, the visual of it we still saw with our eyes, right? And people are still talking about it in a way where they're like, man, what the hell are they doing? What the hell are they doing? It's still making people like, you know what? These guys ain't really it. You know what I mean? Whether a few Edomites between themselves want to think, man, okay, let's stay. I'm gonna say this to you, and then your line's gonna be, yeah, you've got a big ocean between you, and then I'm gonna say to you, you're gambling with WW3, and then you're gonna say to me, you know what I mean? Whether they think that they were thought that they was gonna try and do that, really, Yahweh decided how it was gonna actually go, man. And Yahweh is going to decide how every other country reacts to that are not the same nationality as Esau, that have also got weapons. And they ain't going to be able to control everyone like they think they can, man. They're not going to be able to. And it's still going to result in the jokes and the little setups getting serious. It's going to get serious, man. When they try and think they can try and manipulate things, it's going to get serious and real. And they're not going to be able to manipulate it. Verse 16, thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, that holdeth the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I'll bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh. Because that's what they thought in their mind. They thought, man, we've got it set up, man. You ain't got no cards. You know what I mean? That's what Trump was talking. He's like, you ain't got no cards to be telling me nothing, boy. Pretty much, you're like, yo, boy, you ain't even got any cards, and you're trying to play snap with me. You ain't got no cards, boy. Yo, sit down, man. You ain't got no cards to be telling me nothing. Without me, you ain't gonna do nothing around here. That's how he was talking to him. He's like, yo, sit your ass down, man. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change. That's how he was trying to talk to him, man. He didn't really care about anything that he was talking about. He was tapping him on his shoulder, all kind of stuff, patting him on his shoulder, like, yo, you ain't got the cards right now. You're touching him on his shoulder, touching him on his arm, like, yo, listen to what I'm telling you, man. You ain't got the cards right now. You know, that's how he was dealing with it. He didn't care about anything that he was saying, but the same way how Esau did that was going like that in that situation, that's how he did the Native Americans, man. That's how he did us. That's how they treat us. They don't care when we tell them that they're the devil, that the Bible is that they're the devil, according to how you Afrocentric people want to say. They care when we call them an Edomite, because that's the truth. And that's why they won't claim being an Edomite. They care when we tell them that we're the Israelites. But they don't care about all this other marching stuff. No justice, no peace, no justice, police. And they don't care about none of that. They don't care about no BLM BS and none of that bullshit. They don't care about none of that. They don't care if you Jakes think you're going to try and tool up and think you're going to try and train army-wise. They don't care about none of that. They care about the word of Yahweh according to the true doctrine. That's what makes them scared. And that's what even makes you non-elect Israelites scared as well, because you don't even like the doctrine. You're against it as well, your own selves, man. Most of the world's against it. And I'm going to end the video there, man. I just wanted to talk about how whether that thing was real or not, the visual of it is still bad and it's still gonna ruin Esau's image, man. Shalom.